What's going on, everyone? The Cabbage Man 19 here, coming at you with a episode of Fallout 5 talk, and this is episode 4, I believe. So I am ultra tired right now after training and work today, but I told you I was going to start uploading, and I wanted to start with you. I don't have a script, I don't have an idea. Well, I mean, I have an idea, but I don't really have much in ways of what to expect. So I'm just going to ramble for a little bit and hope you guys join along in for the conversation. So in episode 4 here of Fallout 5 talk, I want to talk about, will Fallout 5 be good? So there's many ways to look at this, but I think one of the important ones will be its setting. You know, I was browsing Twitter today, and I saw that Fallout would take place in... Fallout 4 was in pre-production, was supposed to take place... Not supposed to, but there were talks of it taking place in New York City, which you'd think would be like a ground zero for nuking, so what would be left? But again, it did take place in like Los Angeles and stuff like that, and it is 200 years after the bombs have fallen, so there would be rebuilding, of course, but I don't know, that's just something that comes to my mind, is there would be nothing left, especially in a place like New York with all the targets. It would be, especially with that world map nuke that you can see online, New York is a heavily targeted place. And another aspect will be, well, I mean, obviously one of the main aspects will be the story mode and the storyline. So thinking back to Fallout 3, you leave the vault, you go find your dad, you purify the water after your dad dies, and then you beat the Enclave. It feels like you're on rails. I like the story, but it just... I beat Fallout New Vegas before I beat Fallout 3, and that kind of ruined Fallout 3 for me, but I still really liked Fallout 3, and I thought the story was pretty corny, so we have to talk about our expectations for Fallout 5. I don't expect the story to be good, especially if it's executive produced by Todd Howard and written by Emil Pagliarulo. I mean, I've tried to play Starfield, and I can't get into it. It is so fucking boring. It is so fucking boring. It's hard to get into the characters. You're Starborn, you're the main character, you are him, and it's just fucking boring being the superhero, to me at least. Like, you don't have like actual superhero abilities. You know, I wanted to make a sneak character, but it was virtually impossible, which is my favorite way to play Fallout 4. So back to the question of, will Fallout 5 be good? You know, if it's written by Emil, absolutely, positively not. And I saw on Twitter that I was watching a video by TKS Mantis, who mentioned that he mentioned that Emil on Twitter, or in an interview actually, he said himself that if you find Starfield boring, then you're playing it wrong. Well, that clearly is coming from a guy who doesn't even know what Fallout is in the first place, because he was the lead writer on Fallout 4, and Fallout 4's writing was complete garbage. The main story was completely awful, and I enjoy doing the side quest more than anything. And I saw that Will Sheen was a lead writer on Far Harbor, and I was browsing Twitter, and I responded to a guy who was talking about Far Harbor and how he's never tried it because he doesn't like Fallout 4, and I told him, I said, Far Harbor is magnificent, especially for Bethesda. I wouldn't consider it a 10 out of 10, but it is a 10 out of 10 for Bethesda. I mean, you had choice. You had the Children of Atom that you could blow up. You had Far Harbor that you could just kill the fog, or kill the wind turbines and just kill them all. You could just blow up Acadia. You could show Acadia to the Brotherhood. You could tell the Railroad about Acadia. You could... just so many things. There was so much choice, and I think the story was good. You didn't have to kill Tectus. It gave you the option for him to run away. One thing I really wanted was to find Martin. I can't remember what happened to him, but I thought it would have been cool to see Martin, Confessor Martin. I just think Far Harbor was so good. The atmosphere was depressing, and if they make Fallout 5 like Far Harbor, it will be a truly special game, in my personal opinion, for Bethesda. Because people love Fallout, clearly. I mean, Fallout 4 videos are getting more views than Starfield videos still. So I think if they make Fallout 4's Far Harbor as their main game next, it will be amazing. I really hope the Fallout TV show, it's supposed to be canon, so I hope that's good and correlates with Fallout 5 being good. But there's no guarantees there. The show hasn't even come out. So we talked about the story. We talked about the setting. I think the setting is going to be really important. I think a Chicago setting. We've already talked about setting. That's going to be really important for the next Fallout game. I think companions are going to be a really important thing. I think that an overhaul of the perk system will be required for Fallout 5 to be good, especially taking away the looter shooter. I love the looter shooter mechanics. I don't want them to change it, but I need them to take a step back from it being a looter shooter in order for Fallout to regain its identity. Like, I don't want an isometric RPG, but I want an RPG with those looter shooter elements. You need to have, like, I would say a mechanic like Bloom until you up your gun skill, because it's just how things work. Like, I'm trying to be an electrician, but I have to be trained on being an with electricity and being an electrician before I can get my card. Like, that's how things work. And when you join in Fallout 4, you're just the master with guns. You can do whatever you want. The recoil you can manage, it's just ridiculous. I know you cannot have a predetermined backstory in Fallout 5. You need to have your own character in your head that you can do as you want. Fallout 5 requires choice, player interaction. In Fallout 4, you just go to the Institute, they tell you what to do, you get rewards, and it's just like, you don't have a choice. You just do things. Your only choice is to play the game or to not play the game. When you play the game, you're not making many choices, but just playing the game and doing what the developers wanted you to do. So Emil thinks that a good game is just telling you what the fuck to do. It's like watching a movie. It's like, why would I watch a movie? Why would I play the game when I could just watch the TV show at this point? You know? So that's why Fallout 4 is so popular with mods, because like Sim Settlements 2, I'm sure there is choice in that questline. I would have to play it. I supported the mod on Patreon, so I'm not just talking out of my ass here. I truly supported that mod monthly. And it seems to be made by passionate people who like Fallout. That's what I think Fallout 5 needs, is passion in order to be good. And that's what I'm afraid of, because they're old. I don't like saying that, but Todd Howard was the savior. They bought Fallout. They made Fallout 3. They made Fallout 4. For all the flaws that there were in those games, they're still truly special games in many aspects, and I think that Fallout 4 has such a good foundation on it. Just needs a lot of refining to be a truly special game. I don't think any of those guys really worked on Fallout 76. I think that is really just a cash grab. I don't think Fallout 76 is taken seriously. I think that community is kind of off in its own world, per se. And yeah, that's what I want to talk about. I want to get off my chest. I've been seeing a lot on Twitter, a lot of videos on the TV show, and people complaining about it, excited for it, you know, content creators beefing with each other, watching lore videos, playing the game myself. You know, I've been really into Fallout, and I wanted to talk about what I think Fallout 5 needs to be good in this episode of Fallout 5 Talk. And I'd love to hear from everybody else. I'd like to keep this, you know, under 10 minutes so that people can digest it, people can talk about it. You know, I talked about the story, talked about companions, talked about mechanics, talked about setting, and Bethesda needs to eliminate their ego. That's what they need to do. Just because you've made good games doesn't mean you're making good games. Fucking quote that and put it on a fucking plaque and send it to their headquarters. Okay, Emil? Because you need to do better. Starfield is so fucking boring, and I'm not playing it wrong. Your game is just boring, and you should not butcher Fallout 5. So, you know, taking the heat out on him a little bit. You know, Todd Howard needs to do better. Okay? You know, a lot of the top people left, which is very worrisome for the future of the franchise, and I hope Phil Spencer and Xbox step in and make things right. You know, it's all about the fans. The fans have made that franchise. So, yeah, that'll do it for me on this March 11th, 2024, after one long day to talk about Fallout. I appreciate all of you, anybody who's watching. You know, that is the Cabbage Man 19 here. That is, I need to fix my grammar apparently. But I will see you guys in the next one. I will be uploading some Fallout playthroughs, hopefully streaming some Fallout, whether it's 76, 4, the first one, or just talk videos. I want to do more Fallout and get more videos out. So again, peace out guys. Thank you very much for watching.